So another video we just added, it was a little girl. So when you have these little people who during COVID, their mom bought them boots to keep them busy, right? So they're from home doing the videos from their basement or whatever. So this little 7-year-old girl, her name is Alexi. So I hadn't seen her since before COVID. So now she comes back and she's been practicing the whole time, like for the last 7, 8 months. And so she asked me, she goes, Becky, can we do Dance Monkey? It's my favorite. So each song is choreographed, right? So I'm like, yeah, let's do it. So I said, do you want to come up to the front with me, like on video? And she's like, yeah, she was like totally into it again. Well, anyways, I get video of her dancing and I put it up. And that one, how many weeks? Like, I think it went up a week or two ago. Let me just see. She's so cute. Okay, here's Alexi. It went up November 14th. So what?
Like 2 weeks ago, not even.
So it's got 7.8 million views.
What?
Yeah. 7.8 million views. This is all organic. I don't put a cent behind anything. 134,000 likes. So anyways, just look.
Is that what, on Instagram?
Facebook. Look at her. Look at her.
That is amazing.
Hey, it's a new world, gotta adapt to it. Innovation, information, more than the average. Rushing, please ignore the interruptions, cause this is digital discussions.
The purpose, guys, of this discussion is really, getting encouragement from interesting people that have chosen a life of fitness and health. And Becky Overbeck, who's with us today, is an amazing inspiration that I've really enjoyed meeting, and I've benefited tremendously, Becky, from our relationship, a lot of which is on social media, which is a very common theme for a lot of these faces that I see here. So we might end up talking more about social media in this discussion than fitness, or both, or all of the above. But let me just start off, Becky, by welcoming you to the 30-day Level Up Challenge for Kids for Kids and St. Jude Children's Hospital. So thank you for joining.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
Hi, everybody. Hello.
So guys, you all know that I'm a fan of awesome humans. And I just got off a whole branding discussion call with my team, and we were talking about, they kept saying to me, okay, after you dominate in commercial real estate, Jay, like, what's next? What's what's next? And what's next? And I'm like, well, I just scratched the surface in commercial real estate, so I can only think that far right now. I'm like, but if what's next, it's basically about helping people be the best version of themselves, whether it's in real estate or not, right? So, the more that I got to know Becky over time, it became so just, her story is so amazing to me because she does so much as a mother, as a wife, as a business owner. And, she's done a lot of this stuff really just, not necessarily, it hasn't been an easy journey per se, Becky. And, fitness hasn't always been such a part of your life, but you're by far one of the most fit people I know. Just watching you on social media gets me tired, and I'm pretty high functioning. So, Becky, tell us a little bit about your background. And I know you have 3 daughters, correct?
Yeah.
And you homeschool all of them, and you're based in Canada. So just give us a little background on yourself for the people who have never met you.
Hi, everybody. First, my name is Becky. Nice to meet you. Hello. So I am the youngest of 7 kids. We were born and raised way up north in northern Ontario, Canada. And this is like major farm town. So my parents, my mom was a stay-at-home mom and very low income. So we survived on very little. I went back recently to our home from growing up, and it looked like a shed. I thought it was a shed, to be honest. The trees have grown bigger than the house. So growing up, we did not believe that any kind of dream could dreaming of a beautiful future wasn't even a thing. I would say rather than thriving, we were taught to survive. So my whole young childhood was surviving. My family, my older brothers, everyone was overweight. Exercise, health was not a part of our lifestyle. I can specifically remember one day we were sitting around in our living room and we were eating, not at a table, just around the couch. And I looked at every one of my siblings and my parents, and they were all overweight. So I would have been about 12 years of age. And in that moment, it was like a light switch went off, and I said, I am not going to live the rest of my life like this. So in that very moment, I put down the food that was in front of me. It was like greasy chicken, deep fried. And I went to my parents the next day and I said, I love you very much and I love our family. Is there any way that I could start preparing healthier food for our family? And I'll do my best. I want to learn how we can be our healthiest selves. So my mom and dad said, yes, we'll support you in any way we can. So a very low income, they took me to the grocery store and the library, and I got all these recipe books and all these health books. And I started at the grocery store, learning from nothing, like nothing. I had no one around me to learn from. The internet was not a thing. So my mom takes me to the grocery store, and we had never bought berries in our life because how can you afford berries for 7 kids? So I'm like, Mom, I'd really like to get some berries. So she sent me to the reduced cart where they were covered in mold and green. And so I bought them, and I bought all the produce I could. And then I was like picking the green ones out of the containers and everything. And I made this really healthy meal, and my family loved it. And my brothers, they were like, wow, this is actually really good. So this would have been about March. Anyways, by the end of summer, everyone had lost weight. We started going for walks in the evening. My mom lost 40 pounds.
Wow.
And my dad was getting off his medication. And this was from a little 12-year-old girl who just thought, what if I could try and help my family of 9? What if I could help them? So it worked. And from that moment, I just couldn't stop getting as much information as I could about health. And every book I could rent from the library, it just was like I couldn't get enough of it. So I ended up writing a little book, which I called What Have You Got to Lose? And it never did anything. It just sat in a binder. But I always think back to when I was 13 of this book that I wished I would have written. So I got married. I met my husband. We got married at 18. And we have been married 21 years. And we have 3 daughters who are 17, 14, and 11. I chose to homeschool them. So from day one, they've been homeschooled and they've been with me at home. We run a family fitness studio. So I started that almost 8 years ago. So I'm raising babies, homeschooling, starting a business. It was insane. It was so busy. My husband was off at work every day. He couldn't take days off. So, I mean, there were days I started our little business from home. So I had 8 clients in our basement, and I had invested in some fitness equipment. So some kettlebells and some dumbbells and mats and everything. And I had 8 women sign up. And there were nights where, you know, if any of you are moms and dads, where the babies have been up all night and they're sick and you don't feel well and you're so tired. But to me, when I say yes, I mean yes, and I will never, ever, ever cancel. So I would lay the kids out on a blanket and I'd say, I'll be back in an hour. And I would go down there and I would teach my class, my fitness class, and then I'd come back up and I'd take care of them. I remember laying on the floor after a class, like had a shower, and I was not well, and one's nursing on me and the other 2 need a puke bucket. It was insane. But I had no help, and as in no family around, no friends around. We had just moved to this little town. So I felt like I built so much strength by never canceling. It was like, if I can get through this thing, I can get through anything.
Becky, I love you, you know, hearing your backstory from you, because, you know, for me, like watching you and your family, who are like just an amazingly fit, like beautiful family, you know, if you don't hear this story from Becky, it's like, you would just look at her and be like, Becky's like one of these lucky, privileged people who like has it all, and she's beautiful and ripped and da 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 da. And then you hear this story of like where she came from, and that's why I love so much. You know, it's all about where you are. Like everybody starts in a different place in life, right? So you know, it's and anybody can implement fitness and health at any stage of their life. You happened upon it early. At 12, I was probably the same weight I am now. Like I struggled with weight as a kid always, and was always overweight, and you know, picked on and ridiculed for that, you know, and by the way, I'm still overweight here, you know, like I'll never be in fit shape. My brain has been, it's been stamped on my brain. But so continue. So from there, you know, what's amazing is I know you live in a beautiful home. You've been able to build that, and it's just been through persistence and, you know, and never giving up and building a business. You have a boutique, you know, a fitness studio in your home as well, which is off to the side, right? And you guys, your daughters are trainers too, right? Tell everyone a little bit about Kangoo Jumps, because you know, it's not something that's very commonplace. And if you guys have looked up Becky and looked at what they do, and you have to if you haven't yet, like it's like dance choreography on these like jumping boots that I've been speaking to Becky about, like, how do we push this in the States? Like this is like I need myself some boots. But Becky, so talk about how your business started to grow and how everything started to come together for you guys. Because you know, now you're hanging out with Arnold Schwarzenegger and you're on covers of magazines. So, you know, kudos to you.
Thank you.
Of course.
Yeah, so we started with those 8 humans in our basement, and things started to grow. That passion of helping people transform and become their best self. They were all transforming, and they were telling friends, and those friends would tell friends, so they would come and try out our classes, and they're fun. I'll tell you about the Kangoo Jumps, but so 8 turned into 20, and 20 turned into 30, and 30 turned into 50 clients, and our basement was packed. It was insane. But what happened was our neighbors, a couple of our neighbors, we were on like a nice 3-acre property with a nice big driveway. But our neighbors complained to the town, and the town came and gave us a cease and desist. So they said, you either close your business or you move. And I did not come that far to only get that far. So we put a for sale sign up on our house, and we bought a property 4 minutes away. And we started building all over again. So in the meantime, we're living at a hotel. Our house is being built, and I'm teaching fitness classes because I don't cancel ever. So I'm teaching every single fitness class from our builder's garage. So people would meet us there, and we would do our class, and then I'd go back to the hotel. It was a crazy time as well. So we get the house built, and classes start booming again. Everything's going great. Yeah, I'm going to skip some things. So anyways, we decide that classes are getting so busy again. What if we built our own studio? So I go to the builder and I say, how much would it cost to build just a basic like building off of our property, right? He says 100 grand. We'll get you done a basic little building for 100 grand. So the 100 grand turns into 300 grand. Ugh. So it was 2018 was probably the hardest year of my entire life. It was awful. It would actually be harder than 2020. Financially, it was insane. But anyways, I had trainers, turn on me, and it It was awful. But anyways, so we get back up on our feet. We have our fitness studio and we start training from there again. Everything's going really well. So Kangoo jumps, my daughters have been homeschooled, so they've been in every class. They train with me. It's a part of their schooling every day. So Georgia, our oldest, who's 17 now, she became a certified Kangoo fitness instructor at 14 years of age. And she started teaching classes. She's insanely amazing.
Daisy, you guys have to see like these choreographed dances. And Jill, I see you. Jill's a dancer and literally spends half her life on tour with her daughters who are in dance.
Amazing.
You have to see like these dances are unbelievable. And when I see you and your husband and everybody, like I'm like. I could run through a brick wall right now because it's my birthday and I'm on day 74 of 75 hard. But like when I see you, Becky, like, and by the way, like you and I on social media are hysterical because like every single thing we post, like you're like nine arms up like this, and it like fires me up. And I hope I do the same for you. But continue.
Definitely. I always share your stuff.
I know, and everybody here now is going to benefit so much from following you. You're like the most fun person to interact with.
I'll follow you back. So Georgia starts teaching classes, and she says, "Do you mind if I try choreographing some dances?" So we take just any song that we love, something that you fall in love with. We find a remix to it because it has to be faster than, because of the boots, they're rebound boots. So it has to be a quicker remix. So she'll find the music and she says, "Do you mind if I try creating choreography?" So we film a dance that she does. We put it on YouTube and it has gone, I don't even know how many millions of views it has on YouTube, but she went crazy viral.
Amazing.
And she just keeps spitting them out. Like she's insane with choreography. If you ever look it up on YouTube, the number one was Freak. Anyways, we choreographed together. So Daisy and Sophie and Jay and myself, we are in the gym together every single evening. So Jay gets home from work at 5:09 p.m. and he's in the gym by 5:30 with us. So he rushes to get changed because he loves it so much. So COVID threw a bit of a wrench in it because when I say I never cancel, all of a sudden they're like, "Okay, time to close your fitness studio." I was like, "Oh man, like what do you do now?" So that was on a Tuesday.
You had to close entirely, Becky, at a certain point? Okay. For how many months?
So we closed Tuesday, March, I feel it was like the 12th or something.
Okay.
The very next day we just went online. We're like, okay, well, let's set our iPhone up and video and maybe someone will tune in. We had 9 people tune in. But March, April, May, June, and July, we were closed 5 months. So that was really hard. What made COVID even more hard was we closed on Tuesday, March 12th. My mom was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer on the Friday.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
So she's 80 years old, and I get a phone call, and she says, "I hate to tell you this, but I've just been diagnosed with breast cancer." So for all of COVID, now we are unable to hug her. We're unable to help her. We can't take her to her weekly chemo treatments, nothing. So the best we can do is pick up her groceries and drop them off at her door. So that was awful. But she just had her surgery to get the tumor removed last week. So I can't wait to hug her for real one day.
Absolutely. That resonates with me. I lost my mom to cancer when I was 22. And unfortunately, the anniversary of it is 4 days after my birthday, so it's November 28th.
Man.
Always. So it's a high and a low week for me. But you know what? Those things make everything else that much sweeter. Because it makes the highs even higher when you've experienced those.
I'm sure all of you have dealt with that too, as a family member or someone very close to you with cancer. And watching them, it's like all you want to help, but right now with COVID, it makes it a million times worse too.
Well, listen, Susie, can you chime in a little bit? This is a good time to talk about Kids for Kids because, you know, some people are not as familiar with the good work for kids with cancer. So.
Absolutely. And I have my own personal experience. My father had stage 4 esophageal cancer. I'm blessed to still have him today.
Yeah.
But it's, you know, approaching the holidays, it's much different now. And knowing that, you know, I'm still seeing people working in the city and it's not necessarily the healthiest option to go visit and be around him. You know, like I said, I'm happy to still have him here today, but it has been a crazy experience. And honestly, that's what led me to work for Kids for Kids, in recognizing and seeing adults go through cancer treatments and all that comes with it. I could not bring myself to see how these kids could do it too. They are the most resilient, special heroes. It's been a pleasure and a blessing to work with St. Jude Children's Research Hospital as well and be able to go visit the hospital in Memphis. Every year we take a trip down there. Jay and his team have come. We hope to be able to get back to it next year. We unfortunately had to, we're not able to this year, but the work that we're able to do in supporting those children and those families, while yes, they are, you know, mainly down in Memphis, treated at the hospital, we are learning more and more about the families that are right here out in Long Island, upstate New York. You know, children and families from all over go to St. Jude, and we're just very happy to be able to be this hub in the Northeast, in the city, bringing awareness to what we do in supporting St. Jude and some other children's hospitals in New York. But through this time, we do know that it has been especially hard at St. Jude. While they did not have any real significant, luckily, did not have any real significant outbreaks or anything in the area or at that hospital, because they were really obviously on top of all the protocols and literally shut down everything. Not even their staff could get in. Not even their, you know, members of their non-essential staff could get in to the hospital. We've been able to do some virtual tours, some virtual interaction with the kids and families there, which has been awesome. But you know, cancer doesn't stop just because there's a pandemic or there's any other conditions plaguing the world. And we've been really happy to be able to continue our fundraising for them and still raise over $1 million this year for all of our charities that we support. And so that was really special. Jay and his team here, while we couldn't have our annual winter ball for St. Jude, we're doing this instead, and it's awesome. And it's really brought a whole new direction to what we can do in the future. Outside of events, that's our main fundraising strategy. But it's been a really challenging time in the best possible way, because we've learned a lot about ourselves, a lot about what we can do, and a lot of ways that we can continue to bring awareness to Kids for Kids, to St. Jude, and the families that need our help and need our support.
You do a great job, Susie. Thank you for all that you do. So, you know, I want to talk a little bit about Becky. You know, for me, like with COVID, I mean, you know, everything in my life, you know, changed obviously the way that everyone's did, right? You had to figure out ways to pivot, you know, because obviously, you know, my clients that are looking to open new businesses or putting that on pause, or, you know, deciding not to altogether. And I think everyone's kind of been, you know, impacted and had to figure out how to get through it and adapt and, you know, and just change everything that they're doing. And the reason that I threw myself even more into fitness and healthy living is because if I'm not focused on something positive, I'll go somewhere negative.
So true.
You know, and I know that you're so regimented, and like you know, as time continues to go on, I almost feel bad, but since I'm so hyper focused, like I'm so clear and I feel better than I've ever felt, even in this time with all the stress that I'm dealing with and everything else. And a lot of people perceive that as being selfish. And the way I look at it is, you know, if it's the same thing as putting your oxygen mask on first on an airplane, right? Like I can't feel as good as I do. I can't help my family and my Sabre team and all my loved ones, you know, I can't help them. And I feel like, you know, you more than you know, you inspire me so much. And watching you, you know, really, and knowing who you are as a person, like really, you know, honestly touches my heart. And I really appreciate you so much. You know that. I tell you that. Like,
thank
you know, I
very
really feel that way because you've really done such amazing things, and you should be super proud of yourself.
Thank you, Jay. It's very nice of you.
You're welcome. Gina, can you play this video that has over 1 million views, please? I've never seen this video, Becky.
Way over 1 million.
Way over 1 million.
So this was our first basement. This was going back how many years ago?
The Babe Cave, by the way. It's the Babe Cave, which is the name of Becky's company.
The Babe Cave. So this was the first little basement studio. So I would come down here and teach, and then I'd go back upstairs and make dinner and take care of the kids and homeschool. So this was in our basement. This is hilarious.
So those are Kangoo jumps. We have volume G or no? Now Gina's a DJ.
Does it say how many views that one has?
Gina? Oh, she's on the phone, I think. Sorry.
That's okay.
Does it say how many views are on here?
I looked it up myself too while you were, 1.3 million.
1.3 million, yeah. Wow.
There's something more than that. Maybe it's Facebook. I don't know.
That's still very impressive.
Yeah. When I first started, I would have these companies reach out and they'd be like, well, I don't even know the term, but can we have access to this video? And what I didn't realize is I was handing over rights to the videos. So I make nothing on Freak. So for the amount of views it has, I was silly and didn't understand that.
Yeah.
But anyway,
we have a lot of very influential social media people that are on this call who know how to leverage that type of stuff. So I'm sure they're already thinking about it. Thanks, G. You could
thank you.
The
those are Kangoo jumps. So the reason I think people love, so I can do a normal HIIT style workout and have like 50 people tune in. You know, it's nothing special. HIIT or a pump workout. But as soon as you put a Kangoo dance workout online, it's like everybody stops and they want to watch. So another video we just added, it was a little girl. So when you have these little people who during COVID, their mom bought them boots to keep them busy, right? So they're from home doing the videos from their basement or whatever. So this little 7-year-old girl, her name is Alexi. So I hadn't seen her since before COVID. So now she comes back and she's been practicing the whole time, like for the last 7-8 months. And so she asked me, she goes, Becky, can we do Dance Monkey? It's my favorite. So each song is choreographed, right? So I'm like, yeah, let's do it. So I said, do you want to come up to the front with me, like on video? And she's like, yeah, she was like totally into it again. Well, anyways, I get video of her dancing and I put it up. And that one, how many weeks? Like, I think it went up a week or two ago. Let me just see. She's so cute. Okay, here's Alexi. It went up November 14th. So what?
Like 2 weeks ago, not even.
So it's got 7.8 million views.
What?
Yeah. 7.8 million views. This is all organic. I don't put a cent behind anything. 134,000 likes. So anyways, just look.
Is that what, on Instagram?
Facebook. Look at her. Look at her.
That is amazing. And there's Jay in the background.
And the lady behind her is 67. She'd shoot me if I said that, so don't tell her. Gail's always
are
like,
you streaming your classes now?
yeah, so from the very day we had to close down, we just put a little video up and like live. If you want to come work out with us, come join us live. So 10:10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time and 5:35 p.m. So yeah, people just tune in and
you gotta put your arms down. You're making me feel inadequate with your biceps. You gotta just put your arms down because so say that again. So 10 a.m. Eastern and what time?
5:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So they sorry, I'll put my arms down again. So they tune in and work out with us. So we have people from India right now is crazy. So many people from India, Australia, Belgium, Germany, Spain, all over the US. And okay, so this was a cool thing. So the night we closed down, I'm like, what am I gonna do to earn money? Like, this is my everything. And I thought, we do sell Kangoo jumps and we sell supplements. I'm a sponsored athlete with Magnum. So I go to bed that night and I'm like, I feel like we've tapped the market on Kangoo jumps. I'm laying in bed and honestly said that, Jay. I was like, I don't think that, I don't know what I'm going to do. And then I'm laying in bed and I'm going, are you kidding me? Tap the market? We haven't even reached anyone.
Nobody on this call knows what a Kangoo jump is, if that gives you any indication on how tapped the market is, Becky.
So I shifted my mindset that night where I went, okay, my mission now is to sell as many Kangoo jumps as I can, because if I can make a little bit of income that way, right?
Absolutely. And we've talked about that in the past. You need to you're like the face of Kangoo jumps. Like, you need to I mean, oh man. I'm leaving Sabre and I'm going to the Babe Cave full time.
Yeah. So the Kangoo jumps, the reason they're so cool, number one, yeah, they're fun, right? You get to bounce around, but they were designed for rehabilitation. So people who have arthritis or they've been injured or they can't do the cardio that they once wanted to do. They maybe loved running, but their knees are shot or their hips or their ankles or their back. So the jumps were originally created to reduce the impact from our joints by 80%. Right? Right. So that's the number one thing. So people at first are like, it's a fad, it's a gimmick, you're going to break an ankle. I've been teaching for 10 years. Nobody has ever broken an ankle. Nobody has gotten injured.
So it's actually much less lower impact than even running because it's cushioned.
I only run in my boots because both of my parents have had both their hips replaced, their knees replaced. I didn't want to be that person. So I take care of my joints. I strength train. I now have always done my cardio in Kangoo jumps. I mean, unless it's HIIT or boot camp or something. But so number one, we're going to reduce the impact by 80%. Okay. So now everybody of all ages can do it, whether you have bad knees, bad hips, whatever. Number two, they're heavier than running shoes. So every time you lift your leg, right? Every time you do one of these, every time you do a jumping jack, you have 4.5 pounds on each leg. So now you're strengthening your core, you're strengthening your butt, you're strengthening your legs, but you're having so much fun doing it. So you're burning 25% more calories than wearing running shoes. So I wear a fitness tracker every class. So I'm a little person and I'm in shape. So for me to burn a lot of calories, I have to kill it. So in 1 hour, I kill it, I'm nonstop, and I'll get about 600 calories for me, which is a lot.
Yeah.
But other people who aren't as in shape or whatever, they can burn over 1,000 calories in an hour.
For sure. I mean, those classes are intense. I have before people start jumping off, I want to give people the opportunity here. You guys, anybody have any questions or feedback for Becky? Anyone want to jump in here?
I feel that Douglas wants a pair of boots.
I think Douglas wants a. Yes.
And I'd like to know what made you determine that.
Yeah, because your ears perked up when I started talking about them.
So Doug is an avid Peloton rider at this junction.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Actually, the bike boot camp that they started has been really good. It's been a great addition because it's necessary. Get the strength training mixed in with it.
So good.
What about diet and nutrition tips, Becky? I know that you prepare. I always see you meal prepping a ton. Like, do you prep for the week? What's your go-to method for it?
So the crazy part is I used to do all the meal prep, the cooking, the healthy, whatever, right? And then Georgia, who's 17, she was about 9 years old. She goes, "Hey, Mom, I love cooking. Can I help you?" Right? And I said, "Yeah, of course you can help me." And she had such a knack for it. She was like my mother. She like instantly, "Well, this isn't a dry measure. This is liquid measure." And I'm like, "What? Who are you?" So I put her into cooking classes because she had such an interest in cooking. And now she sells her baking. So her page, if you want to look up anybody's page on social media, forget me, look at Georgia, Blondie's Baking _ She is incredible.
Let's circulate that.
Yeah, Blondie's Baking _ So she has devoted the last, I don't know, however many years of her life to researching healthy food, minerals, vitamins, and then creating recipes from scratch using healthy alternatives. So it's like honeys and sugar substitutes, but healthier ones. She tries everything. So it's like she wants to help those who are vegan and gluten-free and everything. So it's not just one kind of cooking. So she herself has just recently went vegan, but I still eat meat, and so does her father. But the recipes are amazing. She sells all her recipes. The recipes are free. She sells her baking. So people come to the gym to train, and they pick up, her latest protein ball or whatever. So you need to check that page out. It's amazing.
I'm checking it. Does she ship to New York or what?
Yeah. Sure. She's actually got her own seasoning blends that she's created. So she sells her seasonings, and we ship them worldwide as well.
Amazing.
But healthy eating is so important to us, our family.
So do you still meal prep like days in advance, or what's you eat a very serious diet, right?
Yeah.
Talk to me about cheat days. Do you ever cheat?
Nope. The only thing I cheat, so I can't say no, because for me, red wine is my cheat. So I love a glass of red wine at night. So that's I guess my cheat. Other people don't enjoy red wine. They might have beer or cake or whatever they want, right? But no, eating, to me, what we put into our body, our fuel. I know I feel best when I put the right fuel in my body. So fresh fruits and fresh vegetables and lean protein, whatever that is for you, whether you're vegetarian or vegan or whatever. It could be chicken. For some people, it's tofu. Supplements are very important to me. People say, well, you can be just as fit without supplements, and that's true, but you might not have as much fun getting there. So supplements can help you feel amazing.
So tell me about supplements, because I don't take any supplements, and I feel like I'm a good candidate to, I'm always looking to take things to the next level, but in a healthy way. Like I always think that like supplements could be bad, or like, whatever, chemicals and stuff like that. How do you know what you're taking? You obviously are a good source.
Magnum is all pharmaceutical grade, which there's feed grade, human grade, and pharmaceutical grade. So it's the highest grade, but they've been tested. And also if you check any of the reviews on Magnum supplements, they're amazing. So it's a Canadian brand. But I mean, okay, so let's say two people go into the gym and one has taken something to help boost their energy and the other one just came from work and they're going into their class. Who's going to have more energy? The one who's taken something to help fuel their body, right?
So is it like pre-workout? Like pre-workout?
So there's intra workouts, there's pre-workouts, there's non-caffeinated ones with just tons of vitamin B. Vitamin B's, not just vitamin B, but vitamins that are going to help with circulation and blood flow and get the heart pumping. Some have beta alanine, some do not. But what I'm saying is, okay, there are supplements that will help you sleep better. So if you sleep better, you're going to perform better, right? There's a book I was reading. I have all my books right in front of me. But it was Atomic Habits. Have any of you read that?
Yes. Yeah. Great book. Great book. Love that.
But that study about the coach who had that whole cyclist team.
Yep.
Remember? Just by changing your pillow, changing your whatever, those little things throughout the day that make you perform that much better.
1% better.
Right. And supplements do that. So if you need something to help boost your energy, you're going to get more out of your workout. If you sleep better, you're going to get more out of your workout. And if you get more out of your workout, you're going to get stronger. You're going to lose more fat.
Are you working out? How much do you take a break at all? Do you take a day off, or are you working out 7 days a week?
No.
7 days a week?
7 days a week. So for the last 10 years, my family and I, we train minimum 3 hours a day.
3 hours a day.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Even weekends.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't see. It's funny because I used to take a rest day before 75 hard. I would take a rest day once a week, and I would do like walk or something. Just super like low key, but I would do something to keep moving. But now with 75 hard, doing 2 workouts every day without a rest day, there's no need to rest if you're being aware of your body.
Here's what I say to people. Okay, so let's say you did shoulders and you did legs and you did abs and you did whatever, however you split it up. There's going to be one muscle group that's not sore on Saturday. So work that muscle. So people say, well, my body needs a rest. Okay, if you need a rest, that's fine. But if my shoulders aren't sore, I'll do a shoulder workout. If my legs aren't sore, I'll let everything else recover while I still train whatever muscle group isn't sore.
Right. Are you on your Kangoo jumps every day?
Yep.
And that's primarily, it's cardio and strength, right? Because those things are 4.5 pounds.
Yes. So probably 2 hours of strength, 1 hour of Kangoo dance or boot camp.
Wow. So you can cheat more than 1 glass of wine. with
But you know what?
That amount of calories.
So people always say that, but let's say for me, I love having a 6-pack of abs. So after I had the kids and I had looked at fitness magazines and athletes and fitness models, I was like, I dreamt of having a 6-pack. Like that was something that was really appealing to me. So when I friggin' got it, when I friggin' worked my ass off and got it, you think I'm going to want to go back now? No.
No.
So every
I don't know what it feels like to have one, Becky. So
whatever.
I'm on my way.
Yes.
Oh, no, whatever. Seriously. I mean, I'm in good shape for me, but
yes.
I'm not your husband, Jay, with the ripped abs. I'm on my way.
But he was not ripped. Go back 5 years ago. He was the guy eating Ruffles out of the bag and beer.
Really?
And yes.
It's amazing.
And then he never stepped foot in the gym before 5 years ago. And then he said, I want to change. Will you help me? And I said, yeah, let's do it. Up until then, I never, ever pressured. I was like, I am not, this is me and what's right for me. If you want to ever join me. But you do you and I'll do me. Because I don't want anybody pressure me to change the way I am. So anyways, it was all on his own. He came up to me and he said, can you help me? And so now he's a friggin' sponsored athlete and whatever else.
You created a monster.
Yeah, 5 of us. We come as a group. Yeah.
It's so amazing. Becky, I appreciate you so much and all of the wonderful things that you guys are doing. Does anybody have anything that they'd want to ask Becky before? I don't want to take up too much of her time. We appreciate her time. We good? We good? Awesome. Thank you, Becky, so much. Everybody, please make sure you follow Becky.
Thank you, Becky.
Because you're going to get more and more inspired than you already are.
Thank you so much.
Keep up their great work, day 24 into 30.
Day 75 for you tomorrow.
Yes. And you, Corey, I see you. Day 75 tomorrow. Let's go. Thank you, Becky.
Thank you.
Thank you so much again.
Cause this is digital discussions.